only show that's 3 dimensions away from Super Mario Bros. Movie crossing over to the Super Mario Bros. Animated movie. I'm your host, 3D Jake, and today we're looking at Super Mario Bros. Movie, released in 2023. Super Mario Bros. Movie was an animated CG animated movie that was directed by Aaron Horvath and Michael Jelenic and was written by Matthew Fogel. The movie stars Chris Pratt as Mario, Anya Taylor-Joy as Peaches, Charlie Day as Mario's brother Luigi, Jack Black as Bowser, Keegan-Michael Key as the Mushroom Guy, and Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. The movie is essentially about two plumbers that get sucked into another realm where it's like about this mushroom kingdom and Princess Peaches, and there's an evil guy named Bowser that's basically like I want to say a snapping turtle or a cross between a snapping turtle and a dragon. Again, I have not played the game as much. I played it a couple times as a kid, but I was never a big Mario guy. Like even when I went to Universal, I didn't go to Mario World because I'm like I really don't care. So yeah, I'm not a huge Mario fan. So if I start mispronouncing things like that, I'm sorry. I'm not a huge Mario guy. I'm just getting off the information that my sister, who's a huge Mario fan, was telling me. So just bear with me, okay? But basically, they get sucked into this realm, and then of course they have to save the day. When Luigi's taken by Bowser, Princess Peaches and Mario team up, and then along with Donkey Kong to stop Bowser. I really am mixed on this movie. I saw the original John Leguizamo film. I actually own it on DVD back there because there is no Blu-ray for this movie. I've seen it, and I think that movie's okay. I think if it would have been a different movie called, it would have been a much better movie. But I still think that movie's terrible compared to the idea of Mario. Now, as for this movie, I thought it was okay. I did not love it. I'm not a huge Mario fan. Did not like it. I didn't walk out and say this is a piece of shit. I just walked in and I was like, it was okay. Like, would I watch it again right then and there? No. But I mean, I liked it. I thought it was a fun movie. It's a kids movie, by the way. So if you're expecting it to be like the next descending, as big as like something like the Simpsons movie, no, it's not. It's just, or if you think it's going to be big as Across the Spider-Verse, no, it's just a kids movie. I mean, look at it like you look at the Lorax or Despicable Me. It's not as big. It's just a movie. There are things a lot of the movie thing I liked about the movie. Like I really liked the Peaches song. Obviously, everyone by now has heard the Peaches song. Like Peaches, 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 I love you, babe. Jack Black's famous Peaches song, the one he sung on YouTube and sung in animated form as well as live action form. That's a great song. It stuck in my head. I was sitting there singing it earlier as I was prepping for this, and I'm like, wow. I got that song stuck in my head. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I enjoyed it. It was fun. But yeah, I mean, it was a fun time. I enjoyed it. Yeah, it was great. I thought it was fun. The Peaches song and the voice acting's pretty great. Like I thought, Chris Pratt is great as Mario. I know a lot of people were upset, like, what, Chris Pratt? He's not even Italian. But you know what? To see him it's not like he's doing an Italian accent. Although he's doing his own accent, but with a little bit of Italian in it. While most people are thinking he was like, "It's a me, Mario," and they have that at the beginning of the movie, but it's not like you can see it be annoying him doing it the whole entire time. So it's pretty fun. The voice also Princess Peach, Anya Taylor-Joy. I feel like she's good, but I feel like it feels like Anya Taylor-Joy is just phoning it in. I mean, that's the only thing I'll put that in the dislikes. Okay, I was gonna put that in the likes, but I will say Keegan-Michael Key is great. You don't hear his voice. I'm like, oh, I forgot he was in the movie because he just does it such a different character. He doesn't even sound like that. Charlie Day as Luigi's pretty good. He's not terrible, but he's not great. But he's pretty good as Luigi. I mean, he's not. I mean, he's a pretty good Luigi. And also, I will say the GOAT, Jack Black, Bowser. Jack Black is fantastic as Bowser. I don't even hear Jack Black when I'm like, you can hear a little bit of it, but it's mostly when he was singing about Peaches, that's when you hear Jack Black. But when it's Jack Black, he actually does, you feel like this is not Jack Black, this is just Bowser, and I think that is really great. The voice acting in this movie is fantastic, especially Fred Armisen as, Donkey Kong's dad. I mean, it's just so great, I mean, the voice acting is fantastic. The Donkey Kong fight between Donkey Kong and Mario is great. I love how he he gets the little, like, the question mark box, and then it's like a little thing, and he eats it, and he gets a little mushroom, eats it, and he gets smaller. I thought that was funny. And I mean, especially gets like, and then he gets like a cat suit or whatever. I thought that was funny too. Yeah, I thought that was great. The fight scene was really fantastic. I also like the commercial at the beginning of the movie where they're doing their accents, like "We have it," like "It's me and Mario." I thought that was funny. I thought that, and then they're like, "Why do we have to do this?" It's like, it's so great. It was just fantastic. I loved it. I mean, and also the Easter eggs are crazy throughout the movie. Like you see, like they're playing Jumpman, like in the diner. We're like, oh my god, that's the introduction to Mario. And then you see all these cool Easter eggs, like the phones are shaped like Game Boys, and just it's so great. There's all these cool nods and Easter eggs, and everything. Like, oh look, there's a Mario billboard. Oh look, there's a Nintendo. Oh look, there's the Super Mario Bros. Movie poster right there. Like it's just all these cool nods and Easter eggs that I thought were so unique and well done. It felt like a love letter to Mario the character. And I also liked, I also thought this was better than the live action film. The live action film, I do think it just didn't feel like too. This felt like this did a better job at trying to be faithful and accurate to the first movie, to the movie, the source material, compared to the live action movie, which didn't. It kind of differentiated away. And I also like the third act fight scene between Bowser and Mario, where it's like, and there's also a missile where Mario punches it in the eye and it gets mad and stops and chases after Mario. I thought that was pretty great. I like it when they fight in the real world, because to me, whenever like a movie like Sonic, for instance, when they went back to the town at the end of the fight, I thought that was great. To me, it feels like a nod, and a thing that really makes me happy is when they're in a fantasy world and they go back to the real world to fight. That to me makes me smile, because it makes me feel like, okay, they're taking seriously. And that's what I really liked about that. And also the Mario Kart racing was fun, especially at the end whenever and then of course when they destroy the bridge, and like Mario is just like going crazy, just doing all kind of crazy stuff on the, and it's just so great. It's so fantastic, the Mario Kart racing stuff. And also, there's a little star that's so depressing. That's like it looks like they're cheerful and happy, but they say depressing things. And when they're all in chains, and they're all like, "So we're all gonna die in horrible agonizing ways." I'm just like, oh my god, that to me made me laugh. And also, the creepy Bowser Mansion scene where Luigi's running through there, and like you'll see where and like which my sister pointed out to me before, saying that's Bowser's Mansion. And then of course you see all of like Bowser's guards rise up, the turtles, and then all like it's just so creepy and eerie. And my sister had to nod to Luigi's Mansion, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. The dislikes, I did not like two of the voice actors, Anya Taylor-Joy and Seth Rogen. I feel like Seth Rogen and Anya Taylor-Joy mostly was just phoning it in. It felt like she was just reading it off a script. It sounded just like Anya Taylor-Joy. It didn't sound like she was trying to be hopeful or cheerful. Like if Emily Blunt would have done it, I feel like she would have did a better job at doing the voice. But compared to, say, her, where she feels like she's just reading a paper saying, "Yes, you have to save the Mushroom Kingdom." I'm like, come on. I don't want to feel like she's phoning it in. Even though, yeah, she's using an American accent when she's British. Why would she use her British accent? She'd probably sound much better. And Seth Rogen just feels like it just feels like Seth Rogen doing an impression of Donkey Kong. And I'm just like, I feel like this is Seth Rogen 100%. I don't feel like this is Donkey Kong. The CG cartoon that I used to see when I was a kid felt more like Donkey Kong's voice than Seth Rogen. And also the story's kind of weak. It's a generic story where they get sucked into another realm. They have to defeat the bad guy of that realm, and they have to instead of rescuing the princess, this time he's rescuing his brother. So it's just basically a generic story, so don't really get overhyped if you think this is going to be a game-changing story. Also, what I say is, there's not enough Mario Bros. Together. Like once at the beginning, after like they destroy a bathroom and they get sucked into those things, they're basically just all on their own journeys, and then until they don't reunite until the end of the movie. And so I'm like, come on, it's called Super Mario Bros. And they're not really bros in the movie. It's just Mario on his own adventure. And also, the movie felt too short. Like it feels like, okay, after the Donkey Kong fight, we're on a race, and then of course we're in the third act with Peaches trying to get fake married, and then of course Mario's getting superpowers, and him and Luigi are back in the real world, and then it turns out they're really in the Nintendo world. And so I feel like that was just too fast paced. It should have took its time, But that was just me. I did like the movie. Am I gonna rewatch it again? Probably not. Maybe when a sequel comes out, I'll probably check it out again. If I had to give this movie a grade, I would give it a solid B+. Thank you so much for watching.
No pressure.